Fieldy is a device you wear on your body. Fireflies is software that joins your online meetings and never leaves your computer. They solve the same basic problem, never losing important conversations, but they do it in almost completely opposite ways. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one actually fits how you work, not just which one has better marketing. Quick subscribe if you want honest, no hype AI tool breakdowns like this every week. Let's start with Fieldy. It's a small wearable device. You can wear it as a pendant around your neck or as a watch on your wrist, whichever you prefer. The whole idea behind it is simple. Instead of trying to remember every conversation or scrambling to take notes, you just let it run in the background. It listens to real, in-person conversations as they happen, transcribes them in real time, and then turns that into summaries, task lists, and reminders automatically. Nobody at the table has to be the note-taker anymore. It supports over 100 languages, so it's not limited to English conversations. There's also a built-in privacy light, so you can always see at a glance whether it's actively listening, syncing, or just charging, which matters a lot for a device you're wearing around people all day. Now, Fieldy isn't only for in-person use anymore. They've also built a desktop app, so it can join and transcribe your online meetings too. Zoom, Google Meet, whatever you're using, and sync everything between your phone and your computer automatically. So while the core identity is wearable for real-life conversations, it does stretch into the online meeting space as well. Let me actually show you what using Fieldy day-to-day looks like, because the interface is refreshingly simple. Inside the app, there are really just a handful of core actions. There's a search notes option, so you can pull up anything from a past conversation just by typing a keyword, no need to remember which day it happened. There's a Start New Note button, which is exactly what it sounds like. You tap it and it starts listening and transcribing immediately. Once a conversation is recorded, there's a Generate Summary option that condenses everything into the key points and action items, so you're not rereading a full transcript every time. And there's a Share button, so you can send that summary straight to someone else without exporting or copying anything manually. The last piece is the chat feature, which is honestly one of the more useful parts. You can literally ask it questions about your own conversations, like, "What did we agree on in that meeting last Tuesday?" and it pulls the answer straight from your recorded notes. It turns your conversation history into something you can actually search and talk to, instead of just a pile of transcripts sitting there unused. Now let's switch over to Fireflies, because the approach here is completely different. There's no hardware at all. Fireflies is a bot. You either invite it directly into a live meeting, or you let it auto-join your calendar meetings, and it sits in on your Zoom, Google Meet, or Microsoft Teams calls, transcribing everything as it happens. Fireflies claims 95% transcription accuracy, supports over 100 languages with automatic language detection, and can identify different speakers in a meeting so your transcript actually shows who said what. After the call ends, you get a full AI summary, bullet points, action items, and custom notes, instantly. One of the standout features is called Ask Fred, which works a lot like Fieldy's chat feature, but built specifically around team meetings. You can ask it questions across months of past conversations and get an answer down to the specific sentence and timestamp. There's also a newer feature called Live Assist, which is different from anything Fieldy offers. It gives you real-time suggestions and coaching while the meeting is still happening, not just after it ends. That's aimed heavily at sales teams who want in-the-moment help handling objections or staying on script. Fireflies also has what they call AI skills. Over 200 of them, which are pre-built templates for specific jobs, like generating a candidate scorecard after an interview, tracking sentiment in a customer call, or summarizing a board meeting. And on the security side, it's SOC 2 Type 2 certified, GDPR compliant, and HIPAA compliant for healthcare use, which tells you this is built with larger teams and companies in mind, not just individual users. What really separates Fireflies from a basic note-taker is how deep the integrations go. It connects to over 100 tools: Salesforce, HubSpot, Slack, Asana, Notion, greenhouse, lever, and plenty more, so meeting notes and action items can flow automatically into whatever system your team already uses, instead of you copying and pasting everything manually. There's also a voice agents feature, which is honestly the most advanced thing here. It lets Fireflies run entire structured phone conversations on its own. Think automated first-round candidate interviews, or inbound sales calls that get qualified in real time, 24/7, without a human having to be on the line at all. That's a completely different category from anything Fieldy does, and it tells you Fireflies is really built for scaling a team's workflow, not just capturing a single conversation. Now let's talk price, because the two models are built completely differently. Fieldy is a one-time hardware purchase. Right now it's on a sale price of $129, down from $179. That includes the device, a pendant accessory, and a charging cable. On top of that, there's a free membership tier that gives you 150 minutes of recording a month, full chat access, and smart reminders. If you need more minutes, there are paid membership tiers above that. Fireflies works on a completely different model, no hardware, but a monthly, per-seat subscription. Their free plan gives your whole team 400 minutes of storage and unlimited transcription and summaries, which is generous for trying it out. Their Pro plan runs about $18 a seat per month billed monthly, or $10 a seat if you commit annually. That adds video recording, their personal assistant, iSkills, and voice agents. Then there's a business plan around $29 a seat monthly, or $19 annually, which unlocks unlimited storage and team analytics. And there's an enterprise tier above that for larger companies needing HIPAA compliance and dedicated support. So the honest way to think about it. Fieldy asks for one payment up front and stays yours. Fireflies asks for an ongoing cost per person on your team, but scales cleanly as your team grows. So here's where it really comes down to your actual workflow, not which brand sounds cooler. If most of your important conversations happen face-to-face, client meetings, one-on-ones, interviews in a room, casual conversations that never get written down, Fieldy's wearable format is genuinely solving a real problem software alone can't touch. You don't need everyone else in the room to install anything. But if your team is fully remote or hybrid, living inside Zoom and Google Meet every day, especially in sales, recruiting, or customer support where structured follow-up and CRM syncing actually matters, Fireflies is purpose-built for exactly that. The voice agents and live assist features especially only make sense at that team scale, not for a single person's day-to-day conversations. My honest take, after going through both of these in full, this isn't really a competition with one winner. They're solving overlapping problems from two completely different directions. If I had to boil it down simply, Fieldy is the better fit if you want one device that just works without asking anyone else to change how they operate. Fireflies is the better fit if your whole team already lives in video calls and you want that data flowing automatically into the tools you're already using. Now, everything I've covered on Fireflies so far comes from their official features and pricing. I haven't run it hands-on yet myself. I'm actually testing it live over the next week, so a full walkthrough video is coming where I'll show you exactly how it performs in a real meeting, not just what the website promises. If that's useful to you, subscribe so you don't miss it. Both links to try Fieldy and Fireflies are in the description below. Let me know in the comments which one actually fits your team. I read every comment. See you in the next one.